Got the black shirt on, so this is good pop. And I'm here to explain to you this phenomenon called MGTOW, which stands for men going their own way. And no, it's not Japanese.
MGTOW!
You're the bastard who killed my master.
I have no idea who your master is.
My master was MGTOW.
MGTOW!
Now, I kill you.
If you have friends that have been divorced, guess what? Chances are if they said, I'm never getting married again, boom, they're a MGTOW. They just don't know it yet. Send them this video. To not be the walking meat sack automatons that the feminists and females of the world want you to be. So with that being said, let us begin. If you come out and say you're a MGTOW, the feminists are going to attack you in several ways using shame and blame. The first one they're going to say is, oh, he's MGTOW, he's gay. Feminism gets its power from sex. MGTOW is the threat because they take that power away. And you can oppress what you can't screw. Winning. They say you're selfish. What is so selfish about wanting to keep what you earn and not having some slur wanting to dignity siphon it off you? You know what? Them. Edit that out. You know what's really selfish? A woman using her power to reproduce to trap him in baby jail for 18 to 21 years because she doesn't want to work. Then they say, oh, it's no loss. They can't get a woman anyway. Well, guess what? Got her in. Oh. That's a bunch of baloney because most of the dudes that are in this movement had a woman that put them through the ringer. They basically say you haven't been taught by whoever to really appreciate a woman. No offense, but teaching men how to appreciate women is the biggest load of bullshit this side of a cow farm. Winning? No. Why don't we actually take a day and teach women how to respect and appreciate men, instead of teaching women to spread their legs and get rewarded with money, security, and everything else that goes with that. Boom, headshot. Wait a minute, that was in your eye. And Sensei MGTOW calls that bukkake. They call you a freak, a geek, a nerd, you know, what have you, and they state that you need to man up. And how ironic that the feminists are telling dudes to man up when all they do is hide from responsibility and play the victim card. According to feminists, being a man is being a meat suit automaton and being the scapegoat for all their bullshit. If you take the red pill, it's just the red pill guy. Like in the Matrix, you take the red pill and you wake up to the bullshit that's going on.
You are a slave.
You got guys way off to this side who are totally like, I want nothing to do with women, no friends, no allies, no lovers. I'm never getting married again. I don't want to talk to them. I want nothing to do with them. In fact, I'm going to pull myself right off of the grid, and I don't want to pay taxes to a system that actually supports that. And you got the middle guys here who basically are still friends with women, but they keep them at an arm's length, and they never get to come into the complex or come into the castle keep. They're always kept outside the moat. And over here, another extreme to the other side, you got the pool, which is the pickup artist. And all I do is pick up women just for sex. I have no opinion on that, but I will say I am somewhere between these 2 points, and I too have had to take the red pill. The opposite is the blue pill. And I'm not talking about Viagra. With feminists, either you totally accept what they have to say, or they label you as a hate group. To them, hate really equals disagreement with their bullshit. You would think that a group of women who got Kill All Men to trend on Twitter would know about hate. For you to hate, you actually have to care. And these guys, they're like me, man. The I don't care light went out a long time ago, and they're moving forward at I don't give a speed. Wouldn't piss in your mouth if your teeth are on fire. That's about as not caring as you can get. Like, my mouth is on fire, would you piss in it? No. I'm gonna go watch Space Ghost. At some point, you're gonna get your wake-up call, which is like a double kick to the junk and a punch in the nose. For me, it was when I got my divorce and how horrid I was treated in court when they stole my children from me and reduced me to homelessness. This is what alcoholics call a moment of clarity. You've seen what happened to a friend of yours, how we got decimated by the system, and you're like, whoa, I'm a wise man, and I learned through the mistakes of others, and I'm not gonna make that mistake. Cash and prizes, winning? No. You grew up in a family, raised by your mother, You saw what happened to your father, how he had to live like a pauper. Wait a minute, winning? No. And then when you're 22, your mother sits down with you and has the gall to say,
So, when are you gonna get married?
you need to tell her to fuck off and
Suck your dick.
That's a little extreme, but that's what's going on.
I kill you.
Once you've had your wake-up call, you realize that everything you've been taught is a lie. Basically, you have to realize that you have been indoctrinated by feminism. Lie! You've been raised by women for the past 35 years, and they indoctrinate you from very young. A conundrum. And you realize that radical feminism has priced women out of the market. Feminism is about playing the victim, avoiding responsibility, and then blaming men for all of it. And feminism is actually indoctrinating men to accept that, line up for more, and then throw more money at it. Because reasons, and let me think, and vagina. Winning? No. If you make 80 grand and she makes 20 grand and she wants to be treated equal, then she should go get a job making 80 grand. If she doesn't, then there needs to be some kind of give there. And if it's not there, guess what? Gonorrhea! No. Hit it, quit it, run it through all the gears, neutral slam it, park stop it, and leave it in the lot where you found it. And all you dudes out there who like that gonorrhea, we made a ringtone for you and it's on the website. Go check it out. Marriage, you realize, is not the road to happiness, and they're using the hell out of it to line their own pockets. For most guys I know that are married, marriage is a long, huge, uphill battle full of drudgery, tedium, and regret. They're just not worth the bother. Now, once you've had these first two things happen, then your mind opens up and you start to observe. Because reasons. Your first observation, which happened to me, is you realize that the laws are radically stacked against you. There is 151 different laws on the books that specifically benefit women. Someone's bitching about being oppressed? Zero. For dudes. There are so many laws on the books for the collection of child support, rape laws, and all of these crazy laws that women have to circumvent the Constitution of the United States, and none for the men. That sounds like equality to me. No. You realize when you watch TV and you watch commercials and you read books, men are always painted as the villain. Because women don't murder. Women don't cut off penises and abuse their children. Women don't do anything wrong. Like, women never partake in anything evil, which is a bunch of bull crap. And wait a minute, women don't dupe a dude with their vag just to take their money and then run off with another dude to dupe him of his money and then dupe the next dude after that. Guess what? You're an evil monkey too. You just have evil monkey female equipment. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, they do. If you know a woman that's been married 3 times and you suck. You observe that Western women are not worth the bother nor the expense. If you think about it, that's a huge investment. That's a lot of time put into it. And at any time, she can just raise her hand and say, I'm not happy, pull the plug for the cash and prizes, and you're absolutely decimated, sitting on the curb going, what the hell just happened? All of their problems are basically minor white people problems. When you're stating that wrapping Christmas presents is some kind of patriarchal oppression, I think your movement's about done. You grew up in a house run by women, and now that you're a man, you realize that it wasn't good, it wasn't fun, and things you needed to be taught weren't taught to you. Very rarely do they raise their boys to be men correctly. You're like, no, I'm done. Usually, they come out vaginas, or worse than that, criminals. This whole MGTOW movement, the phenomena that we're experiencing, is nothing more than a response to logic. It's logic. I mean, if you're put into a system that habitually beats you down, labels you, takes your money, criminalizes and villainates you in every single angle, are you going to play or engage in that system? Hell no, you're not. You're going to vote with your feet. These men are just walking away from the table and not even putting up a fight. And they do so because, one, you can't reason with emotional feminists, and number 2, the laws are stacked against them. So why play? If you take a huge risk and the reward is minuscule, are you going to take the risk? Economics 101 states, no, you're not. When you're losing half of all your shit, your life and kids, who in their right mind is going to write a check against that? Certainly not me. Not again. Some of these guys have already been run through the ringer. They have nothing left to give. They're like, look, I don't have any money. I don't have a big car or house. I have nothing fancy to offer a woman. There's nothing left. Forget it. I'm done. All right, you gentlemen out there who are walking down the aisle for a second time, I hope you're walking down that aisle with a dildo up your ass because you f***ed yourself. Good luck with that, dummy. And finally, You MGTOWs out there, I want you to keep doing what you're doing because it is working. Just check out Sexodist and Google self-marriage, and you'll see some of these crazy-ass women getting married to themselves so they can have a reception, wedding, and the party. What a bunch of narcissistic bullshit. Ugh. Here's the real funny part. Their brainwashed friends are lining up to congratulate them. Loser! Let's think about what the flip side of this would look like. Just for a second. A dude in a tux standing at the altar marrying himself and having a reception. You would get laughed off the stage because it proves just how narcissistic these slurs in this Western culture are. And it's only going to get worse. Women are the ones that are out there screaming that they can do everything we can. As soon as it's proven that they can't, they scream patriarchy. And in reality, if you really can do everything we can do, why are you always asking us to do it for you? So anyway, this is MGTOW in a nutshell. Hope you learned something. And if you have any comments on this, to my ass below. And share this with at least 5 dudes you know. Remember to hit the subscribe button, because if you do, I'll share my special blue pills with you. The vitamin V! 40% increase to your Peg D. Rhymes. Alcohol slurred. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, my tongue is numb. When you don't care anymore, you become exponentially more dangerous. You got to keep in mind, this is completely unrehearsed. We just write up on the board and I just talk. So there are issues with that, and I hope you find them funny. I've been at a couple weddings where the guy was married like twice before. And I'm like, welcome to your 24% chance of success. Get child support for 18 years. The kid goes in prison. They don't have to worry about him anymore. Yep. They got their money. They get to do their deal. And I hope they live and die in crushing poverty in their elder years.